very good evening to you all. You're joining us on Prime TV News. I'm Dilani Jaitilaka. Let's have a look at the headlines first. Anti-Saitam protesters tear-gassed. The Postmaster General hopes the postal service will return to normalcy by tomorrow. Appeal of Venerable Gnanasara Thera postponed. Satellite technology to increase rice production. South Korea and the US agree to suspend joint military drills. Now for news in detail. The police fired tear gas and used water cannons to disperse a group of university students who made an attempt to enter into the parliamentary premises. They staged the protest demanding to abolish the Saitam. As a result of the protest, a huge traffic congestion was experienced in several areas, including Parliamentary Roundabout. The protest was organized by the Inter-University Students Federation, Inter-University Bhikkhu Federation and Medical Faculty Students Federation. The parade commenced from the University of Aesthetic Studies at 12 noon. The protesters who paraded towards the parliament tried to remove the barriers that were fixed at the parliamentary roundabout. Accordingly, the police resorted to fire tear gas and used water cannons. Postmaster General Rohana Aberatna states that more than 2,500 sub-post officers island-wide initiated their operations after the trade union action. The Postmaster General said that a mechanism has been put forward to ensure the security of the employees who report to the duty. The department took measures to cancel leave of the employees last night. There are 3,410 sub-post officers in the island. He pointed out that usual activities of the postal department can be reinstated by tomorrow. He is hopeful about continuation of the operations of the Central Postal Exchange too tomorrow. Though some quarters have opined that the postal department is going to be privatized, the Postmaster General stressed that no such decision has been taken at any circumstances. The appeal which has been filed to demanding to acquit General Secretary of the Bodu Balasena organisation, Venerable Galagodatte Gnanasara Thera, who is currently in prison, will be taken up on the 22nd of this month. The Bodu Balasena organisation has filed the appeal. The magistrate of Homagama ordered to postpone to take up the appeal to 22nd of this month as an officer from the Attorney General Department was not present. Former senior DIG Prasanna Nanayakara and former OIC of the Crimes Branch of the Mount Lavinia Police SI Tissa Sugatapala were re-remanded till 3rd of next month in connection with assassination of senior journalist Lasantha Wickramatunge. The case was taken up before the Mount Lavinia magistrate today. The magistrate permitted the CID to record a statement from former DIG Prasanna Nanayakara. Meanwhile, the CID informed the court that they will record another statement from former IGP Jayantha Wickramaratne on 22nd of this month. Meanwhile, the case which was filed against former Minister Priyankara Jayaratne and his private secretary will be taken up before the Colombo magistrate on the 11th of September. The Colombo magistrate fixed the dates for the case today. Chief Magistrate Ranga Dasanayaka ordered to issue an arrest warrant to apprehend first witness of the case who did not appear before the court to place evidence. Minister Jayaratne is accused on appointing his private secretary to a newly formed position at the Civil Aviation Authority, breaching the act of the authority. The Colombo High Court fixed the dates to further examination of the case filed against parliamentarian Udaya Gammanpilla and another person who have been accused of misappropriating 21 million rupees. Accordingly, the further examination will be conducted from 2nd to 5th of October. The two individuals have been accused of selling shares belonging to an Australian man illegally. Australian investor Brian Shaddick and his wife Janet Shaddick will engage in the cross-examination. Director General of the International Rice Research Institute, Dr. Matthew Morrell, has pledged to provide technical assistance to improve Sri Lanka's rice cultivation. The assistance will be extended to mitigate impacts of the climate change. The Director General has also promised to provide technology to use satellite systems in this regard. He made the promises when he called on President Maithripala Sirisena.
Dr. Matthew Morrell called on President Sirisena this morning. The delegation accompanied the Director General of Rice Research Institute, stated that climate change makes a huge impact to the regional countries. The Director General stated that post-harvest technologies needed to be implemented in Sri Lanka to safeguard the quality of the rice production. The President said that rice production in the country was badly hit by the climatic changes in the recent years. He noted that Sri Lankan government is determined to exchange technology and experience pertaining to agriculture with regional countries. President Sirisena also said that he expects to visit the International Rice Research Institute in the Philippines. Meanwhile, the book Helavari Puwata, published by the Mahaweli Centre, including the facts ranging from the starting of Sri Lankan irrigation to Moragahakanda development project, was presented to President Maithripala Sirisena at President's office today. The book is composed as a collection of contribution of 25 erudite authors who hold expertise of relevant fields of subjects. This book was presented to President by Dr. Chandana Vitanachi, Senior Lecturer, Faculty of Social Sciences and Humanities, University of Sri Jayawardenepura. President Sirisena instructed officials to distribute copies of this book to all the officials of the field of irrigation of Mahaweli region and compose a proper program in order to familiarize the book to the people. He said that he would provide fullest assistance for this work. Secretary for the Mahaweli Development and Environment Authority, Anura Disanayaka, Director General of Mahaweli Authority, Sarat Chandrasiri Vitana, Director of Mahaweli Centre, Aruna Prasad Lekamge, and other officials were present in this event.
Large-scale frauds committed during the previous Rajapaksa regime are being unfolded. Such corruptions in the businesses of Sri Lankan Airlines, Mihin Lanka and Sri Lankan Catering were revealed before the Presidential Commission that was appointed to inquire about the mishandling in the said organizations. It was revealed that the Sri Lankan Airlines purchased flights to the organization, paying excessive amounts under the administration of brother of former First Lady Shiranti Rajapaksa. Then administration had paid 40% higher than the usual rate for the flights. While giving witnesses, President of the Sri Lankan Pilots Association, Captain Ruan Vithanage, said that as a result of lack of quality standards of the engines of the flights bought by the Sri Lankan Airlines, country's rating was dropped. It was also revealed that some officers of the Sri Lankan Airlines had implemented the decisions of Nishantha Wickramasinghe and Chief Executive Kapila Chandrasena without any examination or questioning. It was revealed that Kapila Chandrasena was appointed by former President Mahinda Rajapaksa as the CEO of the Sri Lankan Airlines does not deserve to hold the position. He had been accused for committing corruption for many times. Minister Field Marshal Sarat Fonseca says the Wildlife Department will be self-sufficient and will not rely on funds from the Treasury. The minister said that the Wildlife Department has a wealth of 5,000 million rupees in its bank accounts and no need to rely on the public coffers. The minister also highlighted that he intends to construct a successful electric fence to prevent human-elephant conflicts in rural areas. Minister Fonseca said that the funds within the ministry is sufficient enough to come up with total solution for the conflict. He was speaking at a function held at the Royal College, Polonnaruwa. The discussion was focused on wildlife conservation, forest conservation and human-elephant conflict. The discussion was convened under the patronage of State Minister Vasantha Senanayake. Several government officials and public representatives were present at the discussion. Minister of Education Akhila Viraj Karyavasam stresses that no decision has been taken to remove some subjects including history, religion and language from the GCE O-level curriculum. Issuing a statement, Minister Karyavasam categorically rejects some statements made by certain quarters over the removal of subjects from the curriculum. The minister pointed out that petty politics has been brought to school education without any base by certain political elements. Minister Akhila Viraj Karyavasam said that even Mahasangha have not studied the situation before making comments. The National Commission on Education is responsible for preparing syllabuses. The minister says the Education Ministry or the National Education Institute have no part in the formulation of curricula. The minister observed that a committee has been set up to suggest the education reforms to meet the demands of the modern day. The experts of the committee are now discussing on slashing the number of subjects to be pursued under the GCE O-level examination to 6, but no decision has been taken to remove history, religion and language from the syllabus. A policeman has been killed in an accident took place at the Nildiya Uyana area in Matale. The accident has been resulted as a speedy car had skidded off from the road and hit two policemen who were on duty. The other policeman who sustained injuries at the accident has been admitted to the Matale hospital. The driver of the motor car is in police custody. Father, mother and two children of the same family were travelling by the car that met with the accident. Mother and two children have also sustained injuries. Funeral of veteran musician Ivo Dennis will be held at the Roman Catholic Church in Siduwa tomorrow afternoon.
The remains of late Ivo Dennis have been kept at his private residence in Siduwa. Ivo Dennis was terminally ill for a shorter period and passed away yesterday. He was 86 at the time of demise. Ivo Dennis, highly inspired by legendary musician Sunil Shantha. He has contributed to Sri Lankan music in different genres. He has won awards for his playback singing in movies.
₹75 million was paid as compensation to the flood victims of the Nagura Divisional Secretariat area in Galle. Many areas of the Galle district were hit by flooding took place in 2017. The Nagura Divisional Secretariat area is one of the most affected places. Around 1,700 people received compensations for damages caused on housing units. The authorities also paid compensations to 350 business places. The event was held under the patronage of Ministers Vajirabe Wardana and Gayantha Karunatilaka. Police spokesman SP Ruwan Gunasekara says suspects of 24 out of 33 shooting incidents have been arrested in this year. The police spokesman was speaking at a media briefing held in Colombo today. He said that only 9 cases are pending. The police spokesman stresses that the police department will be agile to take a swift action to arrest rest of the suspects in the near future. The naval ships Dixmude and Surcouf belonging to the French Navy has arrived at the port of Colombo on a goodwill visit. The ships were welcomed by the Sri Lanka Navy in accordance with naval traditions. The two French naval ships Dixmude and Surcouf are commanded by Captain Jean Porcher and Commander Christine Rib respectively. Accordingly, Surcouf remains to be the first lady officer commanding naval ship arrived at the port of Colombo till date. Besides, this was the first instance where an SLN lady officer being appointed as a liaison officer to coordinate events of a visiting ship. Meanwhile, the commanding officers of the ships called on the Commander Western Naval Area, Rear Admiral Nishantha Ulugethenna, at the Western Naval Command headquarters and held a cordial discussion. Mementos were also exchanged to mark this occasion. Meanwhile, a professional interaction with regard to state non-military action at sea operations and counter-drug operations at sea is also scheduled to be held with the participation of 10 SLN officers and French naval personnel. During their one-day tour in Sri Lanka, the ship's crew is expected to take part in several events organized by the Sri Lanka Navy. That's all we have for you today. You can log on to www.itnnews.lk for more information. Have a pleasant week. Good night.